St. Francis info right now? Is that what you're peeking down at?
No, because we don't know who we're playing. So right now we're looking at Louisville and Creighton just for today, maybe a little bit in the morning, and then we got time to get ready for Alabama State and St. Francis.
How much fun is this? I know you guys, and we'll get to it, of struggling a little bit down the stretch here. But how much fun is it, Bruce, what you've been able to do this year? Because it wasn't expected. You knew you'd be good, but nobody knew you'd be this good this year. And at this point in your career, with all the other crap that's going on in college basketball that people love to talk about, you have one hell of a year up until maybe the last week or two. It wasn't as good.
Yeah, well, you're right. Absolutely right. We lost to Tennessee, and they're a 2 seed. We lost to Alabama, and they're a 2 seed. And we lost at Texas A&M, and they're a 4 seed. I mean, so we lost to 3 good teams, but after we clinched, the SEC championship. But you're right. I think we've lost a little bit of our mojo. We're not making shots quite like we were. We're not controlling games like we did a little bit early in the season. We obviously have got to get that back. So I'm definitely going to own it. But we played 23 of our 33 games against this field. We played against every 1 seed.
That's crazy.
I think the 2 teams in the country that you really didn't expect to be on the 1 line, or even the 2 line, or even maybe the 3 or 4 line is us in Florida, right? I mean, Florida wasn't picked to be a top 10 team. We were picked, a 20? Something like that. So, yes, we're very, very pleased to be in the position that we're in, and we hope we can take full advantage of it.
Coach, I had a question actually about your schedule. You guys have played probably the toughest schedule in college basketball, and obviously the SEC is what it is this year. How do you think that type of schedule prepares a team just for the tournament?
Well, Tyler, before I get to that answer, you and I have got some history together. Do you remember the history that you and I share?
You're gonna have to.
All right, it's okay. Not. It's okay. No, I'm gonna tell you what we share, because it was a big deal for me, but it wasn't a big deal for you because you had no idea who I was. The year that you were the National Player of the Year, whether it was Naismith or Wooden, I was lucky enough to be the Tennessee coach. And I believe I was the National Coach of the Year that year, too. Was that 2005, or what year was that?
That was 2009. And now that you say that, I absolutely remember that. Yes. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
All right. Well, I was so honored to be – I have a picture with the 2 of us at that award, and that was a big deal for me.
Hey, so. Bruce, you made such a big impact on Tyler that he doesn't even remember.
He's got a chance to be National Coach of the Year again this year. So maybe it's every time I see you, you're just getting the award.
Tyler, you know how it is. We're always going to keep it. We're going to have on the field of 68. You never know. You never know what's going to come out, right, when you ask a question like that. No, listen, I think we're absolutely prepared. Right now I think Florida is playing the best basketball of anybody in the country, and I've been telling Jeff that for a few weeks now. Yeah. But we've beaten some great teams, and we've been very competitive with, some other teams. And so, look, our goal is to win the national championship. And I don't know that I've had a team go into the NCAA tournament and sort of feel that way. Maybe the Jabari Smith, Walker Kessler year, but at the same time, I don't know that we were as complete a team as we are right now. And we definitely feel like we're prepared. I think the SEC has obviously prepared us. We'll be favored in the first game against a very athletic, hard-playing Alabama State team, or a St. Francis team that runs really good stuff and everything. But then Creighton or Louisville, they finished second in the Big East, or at least right there in the tournament. And we all know what great job McDermott does, and they got great size. And then Pat Kelsey is absolutely a Coach of the Year candidate with the turnaround that they've had at Louisville, and they finished second or third in the ACC. I mean, I think Louisville's ranked, what are they, 13th or 14th in the AP? And so to be an 8 seed, That's not an easy draw, but the 8-9 never is.
That's right.
Coach, how you doing? I just wanted to jump in, and first of all, I'll say this since you jumped to the history bit. I'm sure you probably remember Tyler. I wasn't as good of a player, but I definitely remember you from the UWM days. We had a couple conversations late in the game about my recruiting before I decided to go to Marquette. So I just throw that out there. So you may not remember that.
Yeah,
sort of like Tyler doesn't
another
remember
great
that
player.
one.
Another great player I didn't get. Another great player I didn't get. It's a story of my life.
Don't worry, you got your fair share after that, Coach. But no, I just wanted to ask you. Just about, and I see, obviously we see and we know the state of college basketball has changed a little bit, but just having such a team, not only with a great players and great experience, but just older guys with this specific team this year. Just talk a little bit about how that'll help you just with the layout of the tournament. And for the people who don't know, you got 2 games in a week. You go back home, and hopefully, if you keep winning, back on to a new location the next weekend.
Yep. Well, Jarrell, a couple things there. First of all, of all the 1 seeds, or even maybe the 1s and 2s, we probably have the fewest number of 5-star high school kids in the field. Right now, the only 5-star we have is Todd Pettifor, who's a freshman. The rest of our guys were mid-major guys, junior college guys, Division II guys that were humble and hungry and have developed into great players as they did get older. So that makes us a little different. A lot of teams have gotten older. We're one of them. I got a bunch of kids that have been in our program for both 4 and 5 years, so a little bit of the old-fashioned way. So I'm a 12 seed. Like I'm a 12 seed guy. That's who I am. Maybe I'm an 8-9, but I'm definitely not a 1-2. I'm not. And so I'm not used to being in this position. The schedule, right now we have a 5-team tournament. It's St. Francis, Alabama State, Creighton, and Louisville. And we've got to beat those 4 teams, or at least 2 of them, this coming weekend, to be able to get to the Sweet 16. And so I've been asked questions about the South region and the bracket. I'm not even answering any of them. You want to talk about Louisville or Creighton? You want to talk about St. Francis or Alabama State? You want to talk about Auburn? That's all I'm focused on. Because if we don't win this weekend's tournament, we're done.
All right, so I always keep it real with you. And my one thing with watching you over the last week or two, you give so much freedom to your players, and your players have a blast. I sat down with them a few weeks ago. I'm telling you, it was the best interview I've done in 10 years, Bruce. Sat down with you first, and then Tahad, Janai, and Miles. It was the best most fun I've had doing an interview in 10 years. I mean, Tahad's ripping on Janai. Miles is ripping on Janai. Like, it was a blast. And then they can flip it and get serious.
Yeah.
So your team has fun on the court. They talk some shit. We know that. They have some fun. Do you think at any point maybe they have too much fun at times? And have you thought about, hey, guys, I got to have a conversation with these guys going to the NCAA tournament. All right, enough. It's all business now. No more talking. You can have fun, but like there's a right time for that. Now it's time to flip the switch.
Yeah, no, we actually had that talk tonight. We really truly did. But we're not going to stop having fun. They're kids. This is their one shining moment opportunity. And Tom Davis taught me this a long time ago. He wanted me to coach the way he coached, but to be myself. And I want my players to play the way we want to play, but I want them to be themselves. And so, look, I love the fact that those guys have fun with each other. They cut up a little bit. But, Jeff, the one thing about them that they're I got some competitive kids. These guys hate to lose. They love to win. And so as long as we stay competitive, we can continue to have fun. And so there's a fine line between passion and joy and being unsportsmanlike. And I think we walk that. I think we walk that walk. I think we walk that walk all the time. And I just love letting my kids kind of be themselves.